Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. We're going to be starting here just momentarily, just giving people time to get on like we always do. And hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. For our brothers and sisters out west, I know you've been cooking. You've been cooking, y'all. So I was just watching a video of someone actually cooking, scrambling some eggs, and that made me think. I was like, you know, the people out there, they probably need to look into getting one of them solar cookers. If you don't have one and you live out there and you getting all that heat, you may want to look into one of them solar cookers, because that's a whole lot of heat and sunshine that's going to waste if you ain't using it to cook something. I know it's hot out there, but get creative. For real. All right. So glad to see each and every one of you guys here. We're going to start here in just a moment. Like I said, again, giving people just some time to get on. We'll give people about, let's say about 2 minutes, shall we? Let's see if I got a timer already set up for 2 minutes. Yep, we do. So yeah, give it about 2 minutes, and then we're going to go in. This one tonight is going to be, it's going to be challenging again, y'all. It's going to be challenging again, you know, and so, you know, addressing something very serious, we're going to be dealing with tonight. So just want to let you know about that. All right. So just give me a heads up. So yeah. So right at when that hits 0, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Okay. All right. All right. Welcome, family. Welcome to another broadcast. I'm so glad that you guys can join us this wonderful evening of Tuesday, July the 18th, 2023. So glad that you guys can join us, and hope you, like I said, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day and you're having a wonderful week. And so we're going to get right into it tonight, family. We're going to talk about a topic that has kind of come up on my radar, and I think it's one of great importance. If you give me just a moment, I'm doing one more search for something here. Let's see. Okay, let me see here. Hold on, y'all. Just trying to look up something right quick here. Just give me just a moment. Okay, all right, I'll go with that. Okay, good. All right, so glad that you guys could be here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Now, if you don't know by now, we do have a store that we have created, and it's called Sambatree, sambatree.com. And let me go ahead and pull up the site very quickly here for you. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on here because I'm trying to get right on this tonight. Okay, sambatree.com. All right, let me get that up here. All right. So just a quick reminder of that and why I'm bringing this up. Samba Tree, we actually have a promotion that's going on. It's about to end. In fact, I double checked in. It will be ending this weekend. You're going to save 25% off of everything except bulk items. The bulk items, you're already getting a wonderful deal on that. But everything else is you're going to get 25% off. This is one of our largest sales of the year. And everything from what you see here, this is just the intro page. But once you start drilling in and doing a whole drill down and looking at the stuff that we offer, you can see we have a wide array of all kinds of things that we offer. Everything from citronella, hope I'm saying that right, essential oil. Got all kinds of essential oils there. These look like these are brand new. That one, spearmint, lemongrass essentials, grapefruit essential oils. We have dried fruit that we're working directly with farmers over on the continent, where they pick it, they dry it, and they ship it, and we get it and we sell it right to you. And so that's one of the things. One of our goals is to really work with our brothers and sisters that are on the continent, that are about the business, and so that we can kind of build each other up. So don't let anybody fool you. There's a lot of great examples out here where our people are in fact working together, on the continent and throughout the diaspora. So it is happening. It may not be talked about a lot, but it's definitely happening for sure. We have all kinds of stuff here. We got the sea moss, soap. We have teas. We got this blue butterfly pea flower tea, the wonderful taste of that. All kinds of stuff. We do our own seasonings, deodorants. Again, if you're still using the deodorants that are out here in the market, where even though it may say natural on it, but in reality, they're actually putting all kinds of metals and toxins and things like that. These are things we don't just grab and say, oh, that's nice. No, we look at it ourselves. We use it ourselves. And we just make sure, okay, this thing is legit. It works for us. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, now we can put it on the shelf. We're not just grabbing stuff because, we just got a good deal on it. No, we're grabbing it because it worked for us, and we want to be able to share that with you. And so sometimes we've even created our own seasonings, like this 50-50 peppers, 50% black seed and 50% black pepper. Listen, if you like pepper on your food, like most of us do out here, then you would definitely love this, because not only you're getting the benefit and the taste of black pepper, but you're also getting black seed as well, which also, if you've ever tasted black pepper by itself, it tastes very peppery too. But you're getting a high health benefit of it with that black seed in your diet. So, regardless if you eat grits or you put pepper on your pepper on your fish, your chicken, whatever it is, your vegetables, whatever you eat, we got that. All right. We also have a thing called black on black seasonings, where it's it's 50-50 pepper and also black lava salt. Okay. A lot of benefits on that. Salt is actually good for you. Your body needs salt. It's just the stripped down version that they sell in the stores that has done a great deal of damage to our bodies. And so what we've done is looked at some of the other natural salts that are out there, and we sell those. So we have them right here. All kinds of things, powders, like I said, teas. We got a whole section of oils. We got a jewelry department. And then of course, if you buy in bulk, you get even a greater discount, on these things, such as bulk tea, sorrel, flowers. If you're into sorrel tea, which I love, well, we got that too. And, things for dental care, all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the website again is sambatree.com. That's the website. It is sambatree.com. All right. So we've done all of that, and let's go ahead and get into it again. So glad that a big shout out to everybody that's in the chat this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about a topic that we have touched on, generally speaking, and this is the topic of mental illness. Okay. This is a very serious issue, period, across the board, regardless of color or whatever it is. It don't matter. Mental illness is something that has been an issue for a very long time, especially for us as Black folks This is something, I mean, when you consider the fact of the things that we have been through, I mean, we talk about slavery, but even a lot of the stuff that the trauma and stuff that we deal with today, and not just trauma coming from the white man or from the system, but trauma internally, trauma that comes from our homes and things like that, that's untreated. Anytime I bring up this topic, you do have a good number of people who says, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. I need to look into this. I need to take this seriously. But you also have a significant amount of people who will shy away from it by using religion. And what I mean by that is they'll say, listen, child, basically all we got to do is plead the blood of Jesus. You just got to pray it. And it's a spiritual attack and all of this stuff. And I'm not denying there's no spiritual aspect to it, because there is. I believe that. But it first and foremost starts with some of the more tangible things. That is not belittling the spiritual aspect. It's just acknowledging, it's just really calling for a balanced approach to address it. And we have many people, anytime when you start bringing up the topic of getting, suggesting that some people need to seek professional help, they shy away from that because, again, they point to, a lot of the racial history, if you will, that's in, that's in that field, when it comes to mental treatment or psychiatry, which is true. It's psychiatry and, the whole institution or the field of psychiatry, and its foundation has been racist, right? But likewise, the foundation of the medical industry in this country was racist. But that doesn't stop a lot of y'all from going to your doctor, does it? No, it doesn't. We'll celebrate the doctors, when we see on TikTok, Twitter, social media, look at all these black doctors. Oh, I'm so glad to see these black doctors and, all that stuff. And, we need to celebrate that or whatever, right? But when it comes to mental illness, some of those doctors actually do address it. Well, I ain't going to touch that because of the racial history and, these people. And like I said, again, please understand, I do get and I do understand that even to this day, you have this system overall, I would argue, is not just the psychiatry or mental health field, but it's also just the general health field that is all about maintaining the status quo when it comes to people's health. So, if you're concerned about, the racism or whatever that's in the mental health portion of the medical field, then you should be balanced enough to see that it's not just that part of it, it's all of it, right? But it doesn't mean that you just cancel all of it. There are some very good people in this field that aren't about that. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to tell you the truth. They are going to provide you the help that you need, and no, they're not going to rush to give you prescription drugs and stuff like that. Okay. You just got to know who to look, where to look, what questions to ask, that kind of thing. Right. But but let me just say this. With that being said, let me just say this. Mental health, when we talk about mental illness, it's not necessarily like you just schizophrenic or you about ready to jump off a bridge or something like that. The first step in addressing that is really starting with a conversation. That's it. It starts with a conversation, having a conversation with the individual who's having issues. That's what it starts with. Because by having that conversation, you're able to assess what the problem is, right? It starts with a conversation. The reason why I'm stressing that is because of the fact that there's a lot of people out here that are lonely. They don't have any friends. They don't have people even within their own family that they can talk to. So what do they turn to? They turn to social media. So social media has been their friend, where and if they have a page that's popular or got a lot of followers or whatever, then they look at these faceless people, some of them may not even be people at all, and they say, these are my friends. And I've seen people who are extremely popular on social media that have acknowledged that, hey, I am bipolar, but they're very popular and they're out here giving advice to people on, things that it's like bruh, sis, I don't think you're qualified to give that kind of advice. I mean, especially when you publicly acknowledge that you're bipolar. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of that's happening. But again, the first step in addressing this particular issue is really having a conversation. Now, it's also having a conversation with the right people, because a lot of times the few friends that some of our people may have, they crazy. I mean, they got issues. Let me just say that. They got issues. So this is why it's also important for you to make sure that if you are an individual that's in need of help, maybe you're dealing with depression, maybe you're dealing with something that happened in your far past, maybe it's a relationship issue, that kind of thing, you have to make sure that you're reaching out to the right people. And how do you do that? You look for people who have a track record, a proven track record of success in that area. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me say that again. You seek out people who have a proven track record in that area. And one of the things, unfortunately, that we've learned in the church is, for those that came up in the church, is that we look at these pastors as people who've done it all and been through it all. Let me tell you something. A lot of these pastors have not. And they sit on their titles. And we think that because we've been so trained to revere the title, we think these individuals are fully qualified to give you advice when it comes to relationships, when it comes to how to handle your children, when it comes to private matters within the home, when it comes to financial issues. A lot of these so-called pastors that are out here are not qualified to handle any of this stuff. But we go to these people thinking that they're qualified. They're not. You understand what I'm saying? They can barely handle the church that they're supposedly running. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so you got that. So the next thing you turn to are people on social media, who, seems like they got it all together, but, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? And so you just pour out to them. And I'm not telling you that you don't, if you come across somebody that, may resonate with what you believe and all that stuff, that's one thing. And then it also starts with having an ongoing conversations with those individuals. But you got to be careful, and you also got to check everything. This is why we tell people on this platform all the time, any advice or things that we say on here, we welcome you, to check it out. That's why we provide as many receipts as possible so you can go back and check what we say. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I will tell you straight up, when I don't know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you advice on something I'm not familiar with or anything like that. I may share, some life experiences on things, but I'm telling you right now, what we're seeing what's happening out here today, there's a great number of people out here that need some serious professional help. And tonight, what we're going to look at is a trend that I came across it's happening on social media that is quite troubling. And I shared it with my daughter. She already knew about it, and she'd be up on these things, and I'd be just trying to catch up on some of this stuff. And so what it is, what I'll do first, because I put a compilation of videos together. This compilation of videos is going to be about 9 minutes long. Okay. So I'm going to play this compilation and then it's going to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to be gritting your teeth a little bit. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's going to be like, okay, this is embarrassing. It's going to be that. I understand. I get it. But I need to be the one of those that's holding up the mirror to our people, so that you can see for yourself exactly what's going on. And so I've already started this conversation by providing some solutions on what we can do to address this. Okay. So I'm going to show this video in a moment. But first, what I want to do is I want to also bring in history as into this conversation as well. Because once you get the because see, I like to look at things holistically. So I want you to now that I've kind of laid that out and talked about, mental illness and all this stuff and why we need to address it and who you need to go to for that, right? Now we're going to look at history. All right. Just going to take a brief look at history here. And I have a page here that I came across. Let me see if I can. And this page is talking about, something that was done during slavery. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to share with you right quick. Okay. All right. So this is just, you can look this up on this kind of information on your own. There's nothing unique about the page. This is just gives us general information. It's right here. This is the name in case you want to know. Okay. Free to Dance, Behind the Dance. And so they're giving about the history of dance. But let's go to, let's see here. Where is it? Okay. Right here. All right. Africans in America have always danced even before they set foot on the shores of the Western Hemisphere. During the years of the European slave trade, over 40 million shackled Africans were herded into the cramped, damp holds of ships and spirited across the Atlantic. On the way, they were forced to dance on deck. Let me say that again. On the way, they were forced to dance on deck. In his 18th century book, An Account of the Slave Trade on the Coast of Africa, Alexander Falconbridge, the surgeon on a number of slave ships, described the brutal practice known as, quote, dancing the slaves, end quote, and the merciless cat o' nine tails floggings awaiting those who moved too slowly. The dance was nothing more than a wretched form of exercise motivated by greed and the fact that a fit slave fetched a higher price on the auction block. These are going to be very key things that I'm reading here. Okay, let me go back and read this last paragraph that I just read to you. This dance was nothing more than a wretched form of exercise motivated by what? Greed. And the fact that a fit slave fetched a higher price on the auction block. All right. And then it goes on, and it, gives more history. It's quite interesting read, on the, how we, were forced to dance, basically. So let me move on to this other thing here, and then we'll get to this video. Okay. Now, many of you guys have also heard of the human zoos. You guys are well familiar with that. Where human zoos once stood, a Belgian museum now faces its colonial past. We'll just go here. So you're looking at, this is, they would build these, they would get the people from the Congo. Is that word again? The name of the Congo. They'll get the people from the Congo, and they would build these villages, and they would have them kind of go about their business, and they would, and people would come by and look at them and stare at them, as if it was literally like a zoo, and they would just sit up there, and they were curiosities. All right. Ami Payne remembers when she first saw the old statues. It was 1994, and the Congolese visual arts had just moved to Belgium, which once ruled his country. Growing up in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Payne said that he has been taught in school that the Congolese were descended from Gauls, that they were our kings. In our school books, it was, okay, let me just skip here a little bit here. Okay, let me see. Let me see here. All right, I'll just read this here. I'm going to be skipping this one here. This is just to kind of give a little, some historical perspective, okay? When we went to school, a lot of our teachers were former missionaries, so the education that we got was that Belgium brought civilization to Congo. Oh my God. They just open up. I'm working on right now a series. I don't know. This is the preliminary title of it. It's basically Christianity and the Whip. And I'm going to go through historical point after historical point after historical point. We're going to destroy this whole narrative that Christianity started in Africa. We're going to destroy that with historical facts. When Christianity came to Africa, it came by way of the whip. Everything you know of Christianity, everything you know regarding the Bible, it came by way of the whip. I just came across some more information regarding Sweden and Denmark. There's a whole nother conversation I'm going to have, but I'm saving it for when I do this. So it's probably going to be a 1-2 part series where we're going to look at Christianity and the whip. And we're going to go through many examples where Christianity, well, the Bible was used as evidence of as proof text as to why we were to be enslaved. Okay. So that's a whole nother thing. I just wanted to mention that because I was just looking at this. So anybody that's holding on to that book right now, that is the foundation of what you believe. Okay. So anyway, let's move on. Later, the spin turned to silence, according to Sarah Van Bruden, a professor of African history at Ohio State University who grew up in Belgium. The University of Leuven, where she obtained her bachelor's and master's degrees, did not have courses on colonial history. Okay, let's skip. Okay, I'm just skipping around here. In 1870, roughly 80% of Africa south of the Sahara was under kings, chiefs, traditional leaders, says American author Adam Hochschild, who wrote the influential book King Leopold's Ghost. But 35 years later, virtually the whole sub-Saharan Africa was European colonies or protectorates or white settler ruled colonies like South Africa. I'm skipping here. Okay, here we go. The Royal Museum for Central Africa began as a temporary exhibition in 1897 in Tervuren, where Leopold had his country estate. The most talked about part of the exhibition was the Human Zoo, a mock African village set up in the estate's woods and ponds. King Leopold, who never set foot in Congo, imported 267 Congolese men, women, and children to Tervuren and displayed them behind a fence. When Leopold heard they were getting sick because of candy they were eating that was tossed to them by the crowd, he put up an equivalent of a "Don't feed the animal" sign at the zoo, saying the blacks are fed by the organizing committee. Hochschild said in a documentary based on his book. I'm pausing here for a second because I want you to absorb what you just heard. So these Europeans were throwing candy to these individuals, these Congolese people, feeding them, talking about keep doing it. Yeah, do this, do that, or whatever. And they were eating so much candy, they were getting sick. So they had to put a sign up and say, listen, don't feed the blacks. We already do that. We already handle that. A reason why I'm pausing, because as we transition and we talk about what we're going to get into tonight, I want you to remember this. That's why we always bring historical context into what we talk about, because you got to get a holistic view of these topics. These things just don't happen in space. They happen because they're rooted in something. All right. 7 Congolese died of pneumonia and influenza at this human zoo and were buried in Tervuren. Marie Claire Lusamba, a Congolese businesswoman living in Belgium, leaves flowers at the grave before exploring the serene park that used to be the human zoo. She says the racism she sees in Belgium is directly tied to colonialism. If they acknowledge, okay, and then she goes on. Okay, so 50 years later, Belgium built another mock African village at the 1958. So this is 1958 now. They don't fast forward now. This ain't old time. We got people right now that are listening to me that were born in 1958 or before that. All right. So this ain't a long time ago. All right. 50 years later, Belgium built another mock African village at the 1958 Brussels World Fair. The Congolese, here we go again, bringing up the Congolese again. I told you there's something with that. Anyway, the Congolese who traveled to Belgium for the exposition thought it would be a cultural exchange, says Zana Ntambala, a historian at the Royal Museum for Central Africa. Instead, they found themselves standing behind a bamboo fence on live display for Europeans, some of whom made monkey noises to get their attention. They were throwing bananas and peanuts to the Congolese, says Ntabala, who grew up in Belgium and Congo. And the Congolese protested against that. They wanted to be respected and not seen as animals in the zoo. just skipping here. All right. Anyway, so there you go. So as you can see, so you had the human zoos. Other things I can mention as well is when it came to these Africans that were brought over as slaves, they especially took keen interest in the ones that did develop, that did exhibit some type of mental illness. You will find accounts where those were used as they were points of curiosity. They were made clowns, they were made fools, they were made fun of, they were told to dance and all this other stuff, right? And so, they will toss them some food or something like that. Okay. So this is your history. Okay. Taking something of you, your dignity, and for the lack of a better term, monetizing it. Let me say that again. Taking your dignity as a human being and monetizing it. Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to do now, let me bring some adjustment to my camera here a little bit, and I'm going to play this video. Okay. Hold on for just a moment here. All right. Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up this video here. And again, it's about a little over 9 minutes. And as soon as I can find it, I just realized I'm like, okay, I should have had it all the way up. But anyway, I'll find it. Let me see if I do this here. Hold on for just a second here. If it will remember. Okay, I think I got it. It's just loading up right now. And again, so like I said, this video is about, I'll tell you exactly how long it is. It's basically 10 minutes long. Okay. And it's going to be a back to back to back to back to back. I want you to pay attention to the first person. I'll let you know. I'm going to fill in all the details in a moment, but the first person. But there is a trend right now. I'll just say this so you're not walking in blind. There's a trend right now that is happening on social media where our people, black folks, are taking their dignity and they're monetizing it and to the lowest bidder. And so this first person that you're going to see in this long line of clips is the person that is credited as the one that restarted it, if you will, because this trend actually started. I don't know if it was like China, Japan. My guess would be like China, Japan, or Japan or Korea. That would be my guess, because China ain't about that. Okay. But my guess would be like Japan or Korea or something like that. This is a trend. And the name of this trend is called, it's NPC, which stands for non-playable character AI, which is artificial intelligence. Now, NPC, what's an NPC? A non-playable character. If any of y'all who played video games, or I'm talking about modern day, I ain't talking about Pac-Man. I'm talking about, games today, these immersible games that you're walking around in cities and towns and spaceships and all that, and then you got people walking around. Well, some of those people, you can't play them. They're just part of the scenery, right? And so, and sometimes if you bump into them or, they may say something, but it's very robotic on what they say. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you're doing a mission, you got to go to that person and they'll give you instruction, and then they'll go back doing what they're doing. It's very robotic, right? So those are referred to as NPCs, or non-playable characters, right? So what this person initially did is they took that idea and said, I'm going to put myself on TikTok and I'm going to carry on, or I'm going to act like one of these non-playable characters. And whomever, whatever the crowd tells me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to repeat what they tell me to say. So if they, so what they do on TikTok is, like if I'm doing a live on TikTok, and many of you are familiar with this, you'll see like roses come up, or you'll see, some fruit, or you'll see like a bomb or whatever come up. Those are people who are donating money or sending money as a form of appreciation or get you to do something, right? That's what all of that is. When you see all that mess going on TikTok. That's what all of that is. Those are people who are paying, sending money their way. All right. So this NPC trend that's happening right now, black folks really jumped on it, but it started with this one individual. The first person that you're going to see, she's one that kind of restarted it, if you will. And once she did it, you got a whole train of black people that have been jumping on it. Why? Because she's making a ton of money. But we're going to get into why she's making a lot of money in a moment. But for right now, let me go ahead and play this video and let's take a look, okay?
Lemonade, a red money gun, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you, gang gang. Rangre, wow, now I can see myself, beautiful. Gang gang, grab, 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 gang gang, gang gang. Grab, 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 take you Centeria. Money gun, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Sylvia, watermelon, can I eat it? Hum, 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 hum. Tony, money gun, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Grab, 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 go crazy, go crazy. Hee ha, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me write it, huh? Gang, 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 gang. Grab, grab, grab. Oh, take it, Sylvia. I love you. I love you. Gang, gang. Hee ha, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me write it, huh? Grab, grab, grab. Gang, 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 gang. Grab, grab, grab. Gang, 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 gang. Go crazy, go crazy. Ooh, gang, gang. Grab, grab. Mom, money gun, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Pop, amazing. Grab, grab, gang, gang. Oh, take it, Sylvia. I love you. Hee ha, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me write it, huh? GL, Galaxy, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Gang, gang. Shakira, money gun, I got your name. Wow, a lot of gift for you. Oh, take it, baby. I love you. Gang.
Hot dog. Oh, a rose. Fire. Ice cream. Yeah. Ice cream. Hand, heart, right back. Hand, heart, right back. Lightning, lightning, lightning fast. Hand, heart, right back. Hand, heart, right back. Woo, that's hot. Woo, that's hot. Woo, that's hot. Cake? It's not even my birthday. Woo, that's hot. Ice cream.
Someone walked in my room. I'm glad they left. Rose petal. Drop, 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 drop. Thank you for joining. Hello. Thank you for the candy. Thank you for the chocolate strawberries. Hello. Welcome. I don't know why the Colonel doesn't want to stay put. If he stays put, everything will be fine. I don't know where he even went. Where'd he go?
Yes. Should I rip the wig off? It is hot. Too spicy. Too spicy, too spicy. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart. Tiny dino, tiny dino, tiny dino, tiny dino. Too hot, too hot, too hot, too hot.
Thank you.
Thanks for the rose.
You.
Ah, so nice, user. You must like me.
Wow.
AI needs a little.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. Wow, 24? That's spicy. Thank
He's getting
you.
a little close. Please.
Tennis. Reverse. Huh. Thanks for the rose. Appreciate you. Lightning. Huh. Might have to recharge to go super fast for this one. Whoa. A little bit too fast in that one. Ah, Racco!
Ice cream. Nice. Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Thank you. I got it. Thank you, babe. Wow, amazing. No fucking spicy. Make it purr. Thank you for the roses. Wow. Thank you for the roses. Wow. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Arion. Jordan, get the fuck out. No spicy. Please follow my gifters. Izzy, get the fuck out. No spicy. Wow. Jillet, get out. No spicy.
About the system malfunction. This too many. Thank you. Too many. Thank you. Hi. Thank you for the G. Thank you for the G. Thank you so much, guys.
Dance party! ASMR. Thank you for the lollipops. Meow. Thank you. Hot. Dance party. Thank you.
Thanks for the speaker. Thanks for the chili. So spicy. Thanks for the waist. Strong woman. Thanks for the glizzy. Thanks for the glizzy. Thanks for the glizzy.
I'm at 19.5K for the gifts. Welcome. Hello. Flowers. I like flowers.
Glizzy. Shoo. Soccer. Glizzy. You are the music in me. A rose for me? Thank you.
NPC, no NPC. NPC, no NPC. NPC, no NPC. NPC, no NPC.
Hot. A rose, thank you, warrior. A rose, thank you, warrior. Like. A rose, thank you, warrior. A rose, thank you, warrior. A rose, thank you, warrior. A rose, thank you. Electric zap. Electric zap. Needed that. Thank you for the rose. Smells so nice. Oh, I'm a gummy bear.
Spicy but delicious. Too spicy, Claude. Play music. The roses. I am queen of the entire earth. Cat paws. The roses. If I'm too pretty to be doing this, send me money. Cat paws. The roses.
Thank you for the golden mic. Oh, thank you for the chicken. That's racially motivated. Thank you for the roses. Delicious. Thank you for the golden mic. Oh, thank you for the flame. Hot. Thank you for the golden mic.
Thank you for the likes. We want to reach 100K likes. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes.
Thank you for the roses. I don't really get that a lot. Toast. Thanks. I was kind of hungry. Close. About to put the paws on them. You don't want to see these hands.
Thank you for the gummy bear squishy. Thank you for the turkey leg for me. I must be at a carnival. A mirror for me. How do I look? Thank you for the green tea, mate. Thank you, a turkey leg for me. I must be at a carnival. Panda. I got bronze in it later. Thank you, a rose for me.
He said he's raping the harvest that the Lord promised him. Now he says, Lord, stop letting those kids watch that Pokemon. That ain't nothing but the devil.
Is to tell them anything for the money. Let them know anything for the money. Hello. Thank you. Hello. Thank you. Click, clap, patty whack. On my way to the bank.
This is the second night of me trying to become an AI live streamer. For context, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is where you go on live and you basically act like a weird robot. And anytime somebody sends you a gift, you're like, ooh, thank you. Last night, I couldn't hold it in. Everybody kept making me laugh in the comments. So if you could please refrain from making me bust out laughing so I can be an NPC live TikToker, because rent is due. So if you see me on there and I'm acting crazy, just let me get in my bag.
So all I needed to see was that all these people who are doing this NPC AI trend are running up a bag. Not just the original creator, but I've seen like 50 people posting that they've made like $600-700. So guess what? I'm in between jobs right now. I'm at home with this all day long. So y'all, when y'all see me going live tomorrow, and my caption is baby mama AI, baby mama NPC, diapers, milk, yum yum. Mind your business.
So this is what's happening right now. So I wanted to show, and I know that was a long clip, but I wanted you to see, family, that was just a little bit. What you just saw, there's a little bit. I don't, TikTok I go back and forth with. I know I'll see something, it'll piss me off to the point I'm just like, I ain't trying to check out TikTok for a while. Then I'll just come back. I mean, maybe someone would pull me back in on something funny, but I'm gonna tell you right now, my timeline right now, I would say every 5 to maybe every 10, every other, like once I hit like 10 swipes, there's one of these coming up. And everyone that I come up with, and every one of them are black folks. All right. Now, just so again, you get a little bit more here. Let me pull up TikTok here. And I'm pulling it up for a reason here because I want you to see something that many of you probably have not noticed. Okay, so this is just TikTok right here that I'm bringing up here. Okay, so hold on, let me see if I can get it to focus. It has a white background, so you're not going to see it. Hold on for a second. All right, let me see if you can see it on here. All right. Now on the screen there, do you see on the screen, you see the word STEM at the very top? Okay, well, STEM, that's for what's that? That's like math and sciences and technology. Okay, that's what that's about. Like many of you have heard like of the STEM program here in the States, in science, math, and technology or engineering and all of that stuff. When you go to that section, and that was put on because TikTok was getting a lot of heat, from, individuals saying that, it's dumbing down our people and all this other stuff. So China said, okay, well, we'll add a little STEM section there. So if you go to that part of TikTok, you're going to see people talking about sciences and math and all that stuff. And most of the time when you're on there, you see Asian folks, you see white people, you see a few black people, but mostly is the Asians and whites that are on there talking about science and math. You stay on the main timeline, you see everything else, including our people doing this kind of stuff here. So I wanted to show you that just so that you can see this is not just a few people, because some people can say, oh, you just randomly, you just henpecked a few people. No, it's a lot. It's a whole lot of people. Now, before I showed that clip, I told you, I said, there's I told you to pay attention to that first woman that was on there. So I'm going to pull up this article here and we're going to learn a little bit about her. All right. And this is just an exercise to show you how many of our people move in great ignorance. Okay. So this article here, this is from the Daily Beast. It'll get into it a little bit here. All right. All right. Let's see. I'll just start here. The world of NPC streamers was thrust into the limelight recently when videos of Pinky Doll, that's the name of the girl that I told you to pay attention to in the beginning, went viral on Twitter. Removed for her devoted fan base on TikTok. The creator's strange mannerisms and bizarre utterings spurred mass confusion and more than a few diatribes about the state of the modern world. The fact that she was also objectively attractive made the discourse irresistible, and soon videos of other creators were making the rounds too. I don't even think there's a Bible verse to help us deal with this, one Twitter user wrote. We're in uncharted territory. These NPC streamers are going to destroy an entire generation of children. Another user tweeted about a different streamer. Let's continue. And by the way, let me just add this. People who are putting this stuff on, this is why I say when you put stuff on social media, you got to know that you have employers that are looking at this stuff. So all of these people that have made the decision to get on social media and to post this kind of stuff, all of these people are going to be the same people blaming racism because they can't get a job. But I'm telling you, employers today, they look at your social media. That's one of the things that they look at. They were doing that years ago when I was out there, before I, became full-time entrepreneur. But they look at your social media. When at the interview, she was like, yeah, I took a look at your, I think I had a Facebook page or something like that, but I kind of knew in advance, they were going to do that. So I took some things down that were, that could have been questionable, but other than that, yeah, they look at that. That is a thing. And so a lot of these people who are doing this stuff, they are literally economically are destroying their chances of moving ahead. Economically and socially, for that matter. For something so confusing, the basics of NPC streaming are simple. Creators, mostly women, dress up like stereotypical video game versions of a hot girl and stream live to their homes. Viewers interact by buying them gifts. And remember, as I'm reading this, keep in mind the historical perspective we gave on this, the candy to the Congolese, right? Which show up as emojis on the screen. The creators have a standardized response to each emoji. For example, a slurping noise and ice cream. So good for an ice cream cone, which they perform every time the gift is sent. What makes the whole thing so bizarrely captivating is the speed at which they perform them and the robotic reliability with which they perform the sounds at the same way, time after time. In between, they also adopt the empty affections of video game character not currently in use, bobbing their heads and waving their hands like a sim trapped in a rather slow loading computer. Pinky Doll does not actually wave her hands. They are actually occupied by her hair straightener, which she uses to pop popcorn kernels one at a time. I mean, it's madness. It makes no sense. To understand why this kind of content exists, look no further than the Instagram accounts, which we're going to do, for Pinky Doll and other popular NPC streamers like Cherry Crush. Both post overly sexual photos, often dressed as fantasy characters, and link to their OnlyFans page. Pinky Doll advertises a free sex tape once you subscribe. NPC streaming is a fetish. Let me read that again. NPC streaming is a fetish, and the content exists for people who find the idea of controlling a human as you would a video game character sexually arousing. So these fools were out here repeating history. This is why I keep going back to our history and talking about it. I know people get mad. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little heated. But it makes me mad when I see our people repeating the same freaking things over and over again and not realizing how self-destructive this is. People think this is actually funny. This is not funny. Anyway, when the sexual nature of these videos was revealed, it only added to the online debate, where some saw the content as misogynic and dehumanizing, and others saw it as a clever way of making quick cash. I held off on saying this because I'm not the most eloquent on feminist thought, but these NPC fetishes seem to be built upon the stripping of free will, wrote one Twitter user, and they named the person. They're just a female presenting robot. They can't say no. All right, let me get off of this. I'm going to show you a picture. There's a lot more that I could show you, but I wouldn't. Definitely ain't going to show it on here. They would literally burn me if I showed all of this. I cannot show this, but I will show this image because I had to, I blurred it out, cropped it, and all that. But I want people to understand this, and then we're going to look at her picture. We're going to look at her page in a moment, okay? But I want people to understand just how dark and crazy this is. In the world of pornography, you have an entire section of people, black folks and white folks, who act out slavery scenes where one is getting raped by the other. Now, I know for some of y'all, this ain't, you don't get down like that. You don't look at stuff like that. I get that. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you, the underline of what's happening in the society around you is this kind of stuff. So you got people who will say one thing on social media, but behind closed doors, they're engaged in this kind of stuff here. All right. So this is, if anybody do it, I'm not advocating telling you to do it, but just gives you, I'll just have this up real quick here. It gives you a general idea. There is a whole genre. I actually had a breakdown of how many websites there are websites by the thousands. Let me say this again, by the thousands, where you have black people today that are acting out as slaves to white people. They're doing this. This has been happening. But they're doing it because, hey, I'm getting a check. I'm getting money. Now, this picture, I had to really blur this one out. Because I'm going to get to her page in a moment here. I'm checking on, I'm going to keep looking because our cat, we had to take her to the doctor to get her, get her fixed today, so she's kind of resting, but I'm checking and making sure she's doing okay. So anyway, let me pull this up here on the screen. Okay. I really blurred this one out here. Okay. So you see that over there. Okay. You get an idea. This is an old dusty white man and he's with several black women. So I'm just going to have it on the screen here. Whatever his name is, Van Diemen. I'm just going to say it like Diamond. Loved young black whores. They were cheap. They knew their place. They did what they were told. If his wife had been more like that, he wouldn't be divorced and he'll still have access to his daughters, and then it goes on from there. I told you I have to keep it, if we're going to talk about this stuff, I got to keep it 100% real. Because a lot of our people are living in a la-la land and you think that, it's just, you disconnected from this. I'm not saying you got to, start looking at pornography. I'm not telling you any of that, but this is been happening. Where you have people who are engaged in this. And this lady, this woman who's leading this movement on social media, she is leading people to this thing, all right, to this whole world here. I have two other videos of sisters that I found, that are kind of breaking it down, explaining it as well. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on just a moment here. Did I download? Oh, it's on the downloads. My bad. Okay, it's on the downloads. I had to remember where I put it. Okay. Okay, so this first one, there's two of them actually. I'm going to play this one first. I can't remember everything she said here, but let me play this one first, okay? And here you go.
Okay, so I'm low-key getting dragged on Twitter for this right now, but I don't care. It needs to be talked about, okay? So if you have a TikTok account and you don't live under a rock, you've probably seen this woman. And let me emphasize on woman, because this is a grown woman, nearly 28 or so, with a child of her own.
Thank you, Azzy. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Mika. Ice cream so good. Yeah, strong woman. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all get the point. We've all seen her, right? For those who don't know, this whole NPC AI thing is a kink, a fetish for adults. And she's trying to find a way to cover her not safe for work content on TikTok, which is an app with a lot of young kids. I know that we're adults on here too, but it's just certain TikTok, the same app that blocks me if my shoulder is showing and says that it's nudity and children and different things when I'm an adult. On that same app, this is what she's promoting this on. And then sends people to her spicy Twitter where she's saying that she's 15 years old. And on her TikTok where she's saying she's 19 years old. This is a grown woman with a child of her own doing pedo kinks. But people are arguing with me because I'm calling it out because they're saying she's getting to the bag. Her number one viewers on her videos right now is Timbaland and ATL Jacob. Like, let's be for real. And they think she's 19 years old. So I said she's not even 19, she's like 28. But the fact that they think she's barely legal and that's what's intriguing to them says a lot. People are literally telling me that I'm doing too much, trying to stop her bag. Putting on an underage fantasy for pedos is no better than actually being one. Like, I don't care what anybody says, what bag you're getting to. Y'all be putting things way on the back burner, swiping everything under the rug because a bag is involved. That's crazy. She literally has full-blown adult content on Twitter, which I can't show here, but this is what I'm talking about on my Twitter. And she's saying that she's 15 years old, and these guys are going to subscribe to that because that's what they think she is. And I just feel like, what stops a woman that would do that and put on a whole facade from actually sleeping with a 15-year-old or attracting actual 15-year-olds on her page? She wouldn't even care. And I've seen her videos. I get it. Like, she appears to be a sweet girl, whatever the case is. And I know everybody's rooting for her because she's getting to the bag. But y'all signing up on your thing and doing these little animal, y'all don't even know what y'all doing. And there's kids doing it now. Like, I've seen high school kids sitting there doing this with their popcorn because they want to be like her and don't realize that she's doing kink and fetish content. Every emote that she does is a secret signal. Like, just pay attention. And so, yeah, no, I'm not being dramatic. Kids actually are watching this and digesting this.
Yes. I'm in drugs.
No!
Ice cream. No reaction.
What?
It's my turn.
What?
I have there's another one. There's another sister. She's, talking about this as well. I'm trying to see if I can find that one. Oh yeah, it's this one here. All right, let me play this one. I think this is one. All right, let me play this one.
My For You page just the other day was oversaturated with them women selling them sublimated tumblers, and I'm like, y'all talking about Etsy overrun. All TikTok shop is sublimated tumblers, and I was sick of it. And now I got the NPC AI, everybody trying to be Pinky Doll. First of all, Pinky Doll does sex work, all right? She produces fetish content, which is what that NPC AI, the gang, and y'all can't even get the bounce right. Y'all trying to copy her, and then y'all doing the anti-black stereotypes. Please stop it. I eat chicken, I eat watermelon. Hood rat, unnecessary. Don't do that. But the fetish content works for Pinky because she has a pipeline for her audience to go, for her to make more money on other platforms by doing the fetish content. The rest of y'all who truly are trying to just get whatever bag you can get doing fetish content, think about the audience that you are now building. Do you have a pipeline for where these people are going to go? Are you going to be able to handle the way this audience is going to engage with you if you don't already do this kind of work and you're not okay with people talking to you like you're a sex worker? Some creators that already have strong followings are going to be able to hop on this trend and do it for fun and make a decent bag off of it. The rest of the folks who really think that this is going to be their way to making substantial and sustainable money, y'all are playing yourselves. And I'm saying, and I know that sounds harsh, but I'm actually saying that in earnest. Granted, this is better than the poly clown obsession and watching a scammer abusive man who's clearly grooming a young woman every night. And I am actually grateful because it helps me put my phone down early, and I'm spending less time on TikTok because seeing y'all all hop on this NPC AI trend is annoying. It's actually not good. Y'all are not good at it, but it's okay. I really, more so than being worried about calling y'all goofy, I want y'all to be safe, okay? Think about what you can handle on the internet and have fun.
So, like she said, this girl, so we're going to go to her Instagram here. And we do this, you know, again, this is like, I guess you can call this a public service announcement. You know, just in case there are people out here, you know, who may be curious about this nonsense and you want to know what it's really connected to. Okay, so this is her Instagram here, okay, just to give you an idea. It's really nothing on. I mean, I'm not going to get into, ain't no X-rated on here, but, you know, we're just kind of scanning it real quick so you can get an idea, you know, what she's about. Okay, so when she's doing that stuff, it's all connected to, you know, the stuff that she's really offering. Okay, so I think we got enough there. If you go to here, I'll click on that. This is her where it takes you to some other stuff here. Like she's on Twitch, she's on Threads. I guess you can buy the shirt. If you click on this right here, this takes you to, there's nothing on here. All right, let's just say adjust or whatever. You know what? I'm going to stop because I don't know. That wasn't coming up before. I don't want that coming up now. But anyway, I'll just get out of that community real quick. For real. I ain't, no, y'all ain't catching me. But yeah, just to give you an idea. But when you click on that, it takes you right to her OnlyFans page. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that wasn't even coming up before. I don't know. I guess because she's getting so much traffic now, she's giving people a little tease. Because what I was going to show you, it says that for every person that signs up, you get free access to, you get if you just sign up, you get a free sex tape, you know, of her. So I want you to go back to the little child that you just saw in that video where the woman was talking about, where you got little children, black girls, that are pretending that they're licking ice cream cones. And what they are doing is that they are inviting every pervert that's out there. You are literally opening the door for every pervert to come to your house by way of cell phone to your children who are out here mimicking this stuff. Now, that's the children. Now, these grown folks out here, like I've heard many, you know, because again, I've spent a long time just kind of going through this and kind of wanting to know every angle and understand, okay, where did this start from? And, you know, just really trying to do a deep dive in this. But as you deep dive, the deeper you go, the more pornographic it gets. It gets more and more pornography in it. And it's like, let me make a U-turn on this. I ain't trying to get that far in it. But that's where it ultimately leads. But the average black person that I'm seeing that's engaging in this, the reason why they're saying they're engaging in it is because they're trying to get the bag. And you heard the one girl says, well, the reason why I'm, you know, I heard they were getting between $200, $300, $500, $600. And I thought she was going to say $1,000. No, $700, $500, $700. So your dignity is worth $500. Your dignity is worth $500 for you to do some foolishness like that. So this is where it all is, family, when it comes to, you know, I just wanted to highlight this whole trend. And I wanted to bring the historical perspective as well so that you can understand, again, that this now it's all coming back again. It's all coming back again. This time, instead of black folks being forced into human zoos, they are building their own freaking zoos. You got black folks today that are building their own zoos. They're building their own stations. And they're sitting their behinds there and they're having their hands out saying, give me candy. That's literally what's happening right now. They have perfectly over 400 years. They have trained a lot of these Negroes very well. And now today they're building their own zoos, and now they're populating them, and they're making it fun. Other thing I thought about today too is there's no standard. And what I mean by standard, this is what I'm talking about. You don't know who's giving you money. In other words, you know how some people will say, hey, listen, I'll take money from this person, but I ain't taking no money from these people. You don't know who's giving you money. Listen, these white people out here, they got money. So throwing you $200, $300, $500, $700 for you to dance and to pretend that you're eating watermelon and chicken and doing all this stuff, that's nothing to them. So you literally got people, potentially, it ain't just black folks that are giving money. You got all kinds of people all over the world that hate you, and they are enjoying the fact that they can control you on TikTok and on social media. These people are literally positioning themselves to be controlled, to be enslaved. Why do you think I keep saying that the internet is a digital plantation? Now you understand why I say that. You got this part of the plantation where you got people, Negroes, that are willing to be slaves, willing to put themselves out here like this and to engage in this kind of stuff. They're willing to do it. Willing to do it. Because they can get rent money. So that they can get a little bag, so that they can do a little girls trip on the weekend or something. It ain't just the women. You got guys out there too. Man, my age out here doing a heart sign and just, all of that stuff. So again, let me go back to how we started this conversation. So mental illness, it's a wide array of that, okay? Mental illness doesn't necessarily just mean that you're schizophrenic or you are not in control of your actions. Mental illness, the root of many of this stuff is trauma. It's other things that you may have gone through. Root of it is really, in many cases, it is trauma. The trauma of a parent not being there, the trauma of a parent or an adult doing something to you, the trauma of a spouse or a partner leaving you, that kind of thing, and leaving you with all kinds of kids. A lot of what we deal with as a people is rooted in trauma, and we can't just point to slavery. You got stuff that's happening right now that's been going on that we bring on ourselves, and it doesn't get addressed. Now, imagine for a second. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but you're going to have to process this. Now, imagine for a second, tomorrow, Joe Biden gets up and says, you know what? I have some sympathy on these Negroes. I'm going to start giving them some money. I'm going to give them some money. In fact, I think it's time for us to give them reparations. Now, imagine all of these people that you just saw just now, all of a sudden getting checks in upwards to millions of dollars, let's just say, with this kind of behavior that they're demonstrating. I said before, and I said again, I am all for, I truly in 110% agreement that this country, along with these other countries who have profited off of slavery, definitely have a debt to pay. I'm all for that. That is not an argument on this end. I'm in agreement with that. However, when I look at the mental situation of many of our people, if that were to happen overnight, it would be the end of black culture as we know it. We would destroy ourselves with that money. There is no banker on earth that would say, I'm going to give this individual money after looking at those videos. They say, oh, heck no. I ain't giving you nothing. You crazy. Any community, I want you to hear what I'm saying to you right now. Any viable community, let me say it one more time. Any viable community, I got to say it one more time. Any viable community, first and foremost, you're going to put as a priority in order to be a viable community is your health care. That's paramount, number one in the discussion. If there is not a health care focus within this community, you don't have a community. There is no community. Your your elders will die an early death. Your young people will get overweight and they will be unhealthy and will be in no condition to take care of the old. The mental state of all your people will be so worn out and warped, they will not be able to take care of themselves. What do we have today? We got people who are dependent and begging and crying. We need better health care from our government. We need the government to give us some better health care. Oh, if you don't get off of that, 400 years, you still don't realize these folks don't care about you. But there are things that you can do where you can make a difference when it comes to taking care of your health. Health has got to be a number one thing. So you do have people within, I'm talking about black community in general. You got segments of people who are addressing this and are doing things. Don't misunderstand me. You do have people who are doing this, but far and beyond, you see far more discussions on when we gonna get this bag, when we gonna get reparations. We should have hospitals by now, hospitals that we run and we operate without any government funding. We should have healthcare networks already. We should have been had that. Why don't we have it? Well, the government ain't give us nothing to do it. You mean to tell me that you need a 400-year-old plus government to give you money in order for you to care about yourself? These are things. So again, any community, if healthcare isn't a centerpiece, whatever movement or community or whatever that you're part of, you better get the hell out. You better get up out of there. You better get out of there. You better get up out of there, because I'm telling you right now, based on experience, what am I, 52? Okay, middle age, right? So I've seen some things. Okay? So I've seen in the spaces that I have been in, such as in the Christian world, I've seen a lot of people walking around and they got some issues and that they need some help with. I've seen that. And I'm like, wait a minute, you in leadership? How you in leadership and how you even functioning? How you functioning without, and people giving you money like this? And you can't even count. I don't understand, but it happens. So that was in the Christian space, okay? All in the Christian space. I've seen that happen multiple times. And I'm sitting up here looking around like my wife and I, we be looking at each other like, honey, is this even possible? I mean, how are they? Don't they know you can't do this? Oh, well, we got to just pray, y'all. I know brother so-and-so, he may like playing with the little kids a lot, but we just need to pray for him. And that's all we need to do. And, we just need to plead the blood of Jesus on him. And we need to cast the devil out and all that stuff. And then we just focus on that. Meanwhile, brother so-and-so done messed around with all these little children, and folks still don't keep their mouth shut and won't even address it at all. They won't even address it. Oh, I don't want to hear because it's the devil. It's the devil. I don't want to hear. See, this is why I tell you, religion has been the worst thing that's happened to us as a people. One of the worst things, because what a religion has done, it has provided an excuse for us to look over things like this. And what religion tells you is when the doctor does something and it happens to work, oh, we just praise God for what he's done because Dr. So-and-so cured over cancer. No, he put it in remission with all them freaking drugs. That's what he did. He didn't cure you. He just put it in remission. But you still got cancer. There are things that the Most High has put out that will eliminate it altogether. But you're content on looking at the medical profession on putting something in remission, and you look at the medical profession as God. And when they do something and it happens to work, you give God the glory for what they did. But that's all they can do is to suppress something. They don't have the power to heal things. Do you understand when you understand your culture, when you understand your people? Yes, the culture that many of our people are trying to run from and trying to put great distance between themselves and who they really are. Do you understand there are recipes, there are formulas, there are solutions where people have been cured of things permanently by what? By what's outside, what the Most High put out there. This is why we put so much emphasis on, we've had classes on, foraging and things like that. It don't matter where you live. It don't matter if you live in Africa or in Central South America. It don't matter. There are things that are right outside your backyard that if you take it, if you learn it, it will cure you of a lot of things. It will. I don't have the time to learn that. And, I'm just going to keep on taking this stuff because that's what they do. And then your blood pressure go down because you're taking blood pressure pills. And, to God be the glory. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. He's done it again. He lowered my blood pressure. No, dummy. That was those pills that the Dr. White gave you. That's what happened. Dr. White made your pressure go. But when you listen to what's coming out of your mouth, you giving doctors the glory. And then we moved on to the Hebrew space. Same thing. The priority is what? We got to do our research. We got to do it. We're going to look at don't you know? And you tying yourself to all that. We ain't going to go through all of that. But no real priority when it comes to health. And do not, because I'm not in the mood tonight. What's my sister, Stacy, if you on here? I don't know, Stacy, she on there. I think I misread what she said in her comment. And I was like, whoa, I went on her and she was like, no, that's not what I meant. I was talking about this. I said, I'm sorry, sis. I got you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I kind of misread but anyway, I am not in the mood tonight because I've been dealing with some folks. But in the Hebrew space, I'm telling you right now, I have dealt with a lot of people. And I'm not just saying this because don't think I hate y'all. I don't hate y'all at all because I was in the Hebrew space too. I ain't trying to elevate myself like I'm better than anybody. No, as I learn more, as I learn better, I do better. That's how all people should do, right? That's why we spend so much time lately. We've been talking about this stuff. But I'm telling you, I have dealt with my fair share of individuals who are in that space that want to have argument and debate after debate after debate after debate on things, on biblical matters, but your mind is off. It's off. You can't even have reason on the most simplest of matters. I ain't saying everybody in that space is like that, but there's a lot of that's there and it's not being addressed. And so how do they address that? They put it off. You do a delay tactic. What's a delay tactic? The Most High, he going to come in. He going to straighten all this out, y'all. Judgment is coming. It's going to come down. He going to rain on these heathens now. I'm heated right now. Some of y'all may be saying that. No, let's stop putting it off and we need to start dealing with that stuff now. If people in this space got some issues, you need to talk about it and stop spending so much freaking time talking about how people dress and some law, statutes, and commandments. Some people need to sit down and get some help. You need help. You need health attention. You need someone to sit down with you and walk through. A lot of these people are lonely. They ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody to talk to. So you allow these people to get on and be, praise to the Most High. And they do the, okay, so tonight we're going to get into this, and they start getting into stuff. But on practical things, I've come across my fair share of people in that space. They need help. They need help. And it's not just say you can go in the Muslim community, you can go whatever. Any of these religions, that's what it does. Religion, what it does, it allows that to coexist. and it gives you the convenience of not dealing with it head on because you put it off in one day. The Most High, he's gonna bring all this together. Today is the day. Today is the day to deal with that. Today is the day for our people to get together and to begin to start addressing this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So this movement, going back to this whole latest thing that I was just showing, this whole trend, this ain't just a bunch of people just acting silly. They are openly being deceived and are inviting the hordes of hell into many of these homes, and they don't even realize it. Now so as I showed you, it's bringing in pornography, and pornography, I'm telling you, you're dealing with mental, and you're also dealing with, psychological and also spiritual. You're dealing with that. You're dealing with a whole blend of things when you bring all of that together, and that's what they're doing. Is $500 really worth that? $700, $1,000, $10,000, or whatever, $1 million? Is it worth all of that? No. So for the people who are out here engaged in this stuff, please go back. If you didn't see it, maybe you're just getting on, and listen to the history. This is exactly what was done to your people many, many years ago. Your people saw it for what it was, and they hated it. It was one young man out of the Congo. They did a human zoo. I believe this was in New York City. They built a village for him. Yes, it was in New York City. I believe it was in Bronx. They built a whole little tiny little village for him. And they had him in there with a monkey. And they asked him, did the same thing, same kind of treatments. And at the end, well, he died young. He died very young. He died because he committed suicide, because he couldn't take it anymore. These people today, if this stuff does not get treated, and he did that because he had no answers, because of the climate that he was in. I mean, you're surrounded by people who's egging you on and telling you to act the fool and all that. He had no support system. And that's what it led to. A lot of these people out here who are suicidal, a lot of times, if they feel that there's no support system out there, many times that will be their end. I'm just being real. If you want to pray, then pray. I want you to do that, but don't just pray and then leave it at that. You need to start being aware of the people that are around you that may be seemingly a little bit troubled. You know what I'm saying? And don't just ignore it. A lot of these people, these beautiful black men and women that are out here, homeless in the street, that's the latest trend right now in the conservative spaces. Everyone wants to go to Kensington, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, the Kensington section of Philadelphia, where you see all the homeless people who are all drugged out and they're like hunched over or whatever. That's like the new human zoo right now. Everybody wants to go over there and look at that. Look at them. Look at them now. Philadelphia. Now, see, when you got Democrats running things, get some Republicans running, it'll be the same way. So let's not even go there with that. Or you got to go in Appalachia. They've been drug addicted up there for many, many years. So let's not even get into that conversation, okay? And I'm not saying all the people in Appalachia are like that. I'm just saying, but that has been a problem in those areas, in Republican areas for years. So you're going to come to my town and you want to use my town as some kind of human zoo. You better step back and go back to your place and look at your place, because that stuff been going on for a long time all over the country. It's time now we start taking care, start really paying attention to our own stuff. And someone may ask, so again, what have we done? Because see, I'm not just sitting here talking and blowing smoke here. We've tried, we try to build a community of people. We did this on a platform called Threema. And what we did basically in short is went to bring people together, regardless of you Christian, Hebrew, whatever, I don't care. But these are, the times that we're in right now, it calls for us as a people to get together. And when I say get together, and to focus on, I'm talking about focusing on things that can benefit everybody. When I say that, I'm talking about things such as like getting a prep bag together, a go bag together, creating emergency routes. Okay, if the power goes off in your region, what do you do? Who has a generator? Okay, let's develop a strategy on passing generators around, or food or water, that kind of stuff. If someone is in need of health, things or whatever, developing a network of people who grow, herbs and things like that. And we could just pass along herbs amongst ourselves. We ain't got to wait for a doctor and all that stuff. We can do our own thing. And in the process, we was able to get connected with people who are licensed, who are in the medical field, but saw the need and jumped in and have been a great blessing, to that whole project there. But the one thing I've learned out of that, I will say this, is that you cannot organize a sleeping people. Let me say that again. You cannot organize a sleeping people, because a sleeping people are asleep. And I'm not saying everybody on Threema will sleep. That's not true. But I'm just saying ultimately, as many people you may want to get, you're going to end up with not as many people you may wish to have ended up with. But the trials and the tribulations that we had to go through just to get that together. And this is just amongst our people. We've had people come in and literally operate and function as agents for no other reason, just because it was there and they wanted to do that. Breaking things up, trying to shut certain groups down, all kinds of stuff. We got plenty of stories. But the number one thing that you have to deal with is your own people. And you would think that something like this, when you're talking about something simple, I'm saying simple, but healthcare, and we should care about our own stuff. You would think people would be all on board and hey, let's go. No, you got black folks that will fight you again, that will fight harder than any Klan member or skinhead. You understand what I'm saying? They will fight against you because of that. But what I'm learning now is, I said, you know what? I'm prioritizing my family. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm in a season right now where I'm really prioritizing my family right now. And I said, okay, let's get ourselves together. Let's get ourselves in position, because the stuff that is being talked about out there, you want to make, it's like, I feel like it's like musical chairs right now. And when the music stops, you want to make sure that you are in a place, in a position where you are at an optimum advantage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of times when I hear people saying, you know what, all we got to do is just learn to get together. If black folks, if we could just come together. Let me ask you something. Do you want to get together with them folks that you just saw, that I just showed you earlier? You want to get together with that? You want to do that? That's you. You go with that. I ain't trying to get together with that. If you need evidence and proof that not all black folks are to get together, let that be your evidence right there. It's people, I'm telling you, so it's, it's a huge topic. It's a huge thing. I'm only just barely scratching the surface of this when it comes to just the topic of mental illness. I'm just barely scratching the surface when it comes to this topic. But now we're starting to see on social media, not that we haven't seen it before, but this latest trend really brings this thing out on just how this pot, you can't keep the lid on it, but for so long. Right now, this pot is boiling over. And now all the stench, all the problems and issues and stuff is starting to boil over out into the mainstream. And we got a choice. Either we're going to deal with it or we're not. And in this, and I'll close with this, there's a whole lot I can't say. There's going to be a lot of folks that look like you. Whatever these powers that shouldn't be, whatever they're doing out here, they're not going to make it. It's just plain and simple. They're not going to make it. In the future, there are going to be hard decisions that all of us, or many people, are going to have to make. And you're going to have to say, you know what? This is what we're deciding for my family. I love you, Unc. I love you, Auntie. I love you, Grandma, whatever. But if you still want to hold on to certain things, I'm sorry. I love you, but we got to go. And I ain't talking about no going in no wilderness stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying you moving on, not necessarily physical thing, but just closing one chapter out to move on to the next, whatever that represents or mean in your own life. That's what I'm talking about. When I talk about some people are just ain't going to make it. They're not going to make it to where the Most High is taking you. You understand what I'm saying? Where he's taking you, don't think it's going to be a whole crowd. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be a whole crowd a lot of times where he's taking you. It's not. You know, this is a very real thing. This is a very serious thing, and I don't want to belabor it, but yeah, this is something that has been going on, and it's just only going to get worse, you know, and it's being compounded now, of course, with AI, you know, the whole technology of AI. You don't know who you're talking to out here these days. And for anybody that gets in my chat or my comment section, well, Dwayne, maybe those are all AI folks, or maybe those weren't even real. See, that's another thing we like to do. Anytime we see some of our people doing some very dumb things, we want to say, oh, it's the CIA. No, those are niggas. Those they doing it on their own accord. Okay, that's what that is. You know, we got this other story. I have no idea if it's true or not. I'm not jumping in that whole, you know, because people run their mouth about that. Just like the Kiki Palmer thing. Why is that a conversation? Do I even care about that? No. Because as soon as I heard that they weren't even married, I was like, okay, well, ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing to talk about. Why people hold them to a standard as if somehow they married folk. They ain't married folk. Now, if they were married folk, then I may have something to say about that. They ain't married. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying they have agreed to have no standard in their relationship. So you're going to produce after your own kind, no standard and a lot of mess. There's nothing to talk about. Next. Anyway. But this one thing that came up, this young lady, I'm going to say down south. I don't know. I can't remember what state. She said she was missing because she pulled over and she said she, you know, saw a child or whatever. And then, you know, it wasn't, you know, and then, you know, they found her like 2 days later and all this other stuff, right? Whatever. Family, I don't know. I wasn't there. Don't know. But I've listened to enough of that story. When I first heard it, I will tell you this. When I first heard it, I already, you know, some things you hear, it's just something just ain't settling right with me. I just kept it moving. I'm not watching every video on it. Again, that's another one of those things I don't care. But if I will say this, if it comes out that this young lady was making some of that up, it just underscores even more, you know, just how tragic it is, the seriousness of the condition of many of our people out here who will go to great lengths like that in order to get attention. Again, I'm not saying this is what happened in this case because we don't have all the facts, but based on the facts that we do know, it's not looking good. But there's many of other examples out there we can point to, you know, many examples we can point to where people have done some crazy things in order to get attention. So all I'm asking, family, with all the passion and emotion and all the things that we try to present in this broadcast this evening, is that do take, you know, this issue of mental health. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe that's a softer way of putting it. Mental health. Do take this thing extremely serious. Take your own mental health very serious, family. Because again, the things that you know, they're talking about massive power outages or the internet going out or, you know, food shortages and all this other stuff. If your mind ain't right, when that stuff happens, some of these folks are going to go crazy. And it's going to be some of these people you thought they had it all together, but once you take away their internet, they're going to lose their mind. You already got children out here that will kill their parents if they take away their little PlayStation. You understand what I'm saying? So mental health is a paramount thing that we need to focus on. And my prayer is that we would take this thing extremely serious. I wanted to show y'all this tonight, this little trend here, because when I saw it, it was extremely disturbing to me. And my daughter, it was so bad. She was like, Dad, how much longer are you going to look at that? I said, I'm just collecting data. I'm collecting as many videos as I can because people got to see this for what it is and how crazy it is. And that we need help. We desperately need help. So anyway, I'm going to leave you at that. But, you know, we're going to close in prayer. How about that? We'll close in prayer on this one. And but they're not going to stop there. The closing in prayer just simply means the beginning, hopefully, for many of you to look at this series, this situation or this stuff very seriously, because We're witnessing the destruction of a culture. We are. And it's people who are doing it by free will. And it's very sad and it's extremely troubling to me to see that. I think what really got me was seeing the little girl doing that. I don't like that. I don't like that. We could talk about Jeffrey Epstein and the foolishness that he's doing. But you got people out here right now that are giving the weapons to their own children to get out here on social media and to position themselves to be taken advantage of by people out here with ill intent. And again, I'm going to say this, brothers, I love y'all and I'm with y'all. But sisters, I want you to understand something. You have some brothers out here that really, really do love you guys. And will fight for you with our last breath. I want you to really understand that and to know that. Despite of what the stuff that you're seeing on social media, I listen to a lot of these men out here that are out here, talking about relationships and talking about black women this and that or whatever. And I know, our black women got some issues, and just like our brothers got some issues, but some people, they make it into a whole cottage industry and tearing down black women. What I would ask is that you don't look at all black men like that, because we're not all like that. For me, I am pulling for you. I want nothing but the best for all of you. I really, really do. I want nothing but the best. And that starts at home with me, because I have to demonstrate that with my wife. I demonstrate that with my daughter. I told my daughter the other day, I said, I love being a father. I love having a daughter. And I wanted her to hear that for whatever it's worth. But I wanted her to hear that. And I want these sisters out here, I want y'all to know that there's some men out here that are really rooting for you. And despite the foolishness that we've seen, tonight on those videos, I don't see that as all black women like that, because that's not a representation of all black women. It's not. But it is a growing problem. And I understand the system behind it that is encouraging it. They're encouraging it, and they're pushing more and more black women to carry on like this and do all this crazy stuff, on social media. You're far more precious than that. And it really bothers me when because it's one thing when you see grown people doing it, but when you see little children out here that are just repeating this mess, it's really tough for me to take that. And I just want y'all to know that. I want y'all to know that you do have brothers out here, that are really pulling for you and want nothing but the best. I can't be your father. I can't be, I can't be the father that you didn't have, or, or whatever. I can't be any of those things, but I can be just a brother that tries to the best of my ability to demonstrate that by telling you the truth and not talking down on you, but building you up and encouraging you. And I say that from someone who, because I want y'all to really get some perspective on this. when you heard me talk about Threema and what we dealt with on that. The demographic that gave us the most problems in helping trying to tear that down, it was Black women. It were Black women that were getting together and that were in their own little separate groups, starting whispering campaigns, spreading lies and rumors and things like that, trying to tear that down. Some of these Black women, we actually helped them build up their businesses. Because, there was a time, for those of you who've been following us, it was a time we were advertising businesses. I said, if you got a business, just let me know, email me. Here's an email address. You can email us and we will give a free shout out. We'll in fact have you come on and you can talk all about your business, because we want to see you win. We want to see you win. And you ain't got to pay me nothing. Nobody's looking for nothing on the back end or nothing like that. I just want to see you win. And we got a little platform here, we want to be able to use it to build you up so that you can get your thing going and on and popping, and you can win and succeed and become financially independent. Let's help. Let's do, you know what I mean? Let's do that. I've had at least, I ain't going to give a number. It was more than one. I'll just say that, or more than two women that we have done that for. These 7 women came right around and literally stabbed us in the back for no reason. But even with that, I don't use that as a measuring tool for all Black women. No. My personal prayer has always been, Father, I want to demonstrate the same love that you have shown to me. I want to be able to demonstrate that to people. And so, yeah, people are going to mess over on you. They're going to do things like that. You just move on to the ones that ain't going to do that, and you always, to your best of your ability, you try to stay hopeful. And there's been times I have, you feel like you want to give up. You do. I'm talking about your own people. But I have no plans on doing that. I ain't got no plans on doing that. And I love the skin that he's put me in. I love the culture that he's put me in. I love the people that he's brought me around. And that's it. I don't want to be a part of anything that would try to take that away from me or to deny it or to reimagine it. I love it. The warts we'll deal with and we'll work that out. You know what I mean? But the base of what we're in, I absolutely love it. I love, our Black women. I love our Black men, and I love our children. I love our Black children. And I hate anything that would try to come in and try to bring any kind of division to that at all. People who are in the LGBT lifestyle. I don't agree with your lifestyle at all. I don't. I will be honest with you with that. I don't dance around that issue. But I don't hate you as an individual, unless you give me a reason to. I don't. I have no reason to hate you. I can disagree with your choice, but I have no reason to hate you. And we can start from that point. Okay, we can start from that point. No, unless you give me a reason to. I have no reason to hate you. I don't agree with your stuff. No, I don't. So we have to learn to be able to look at the pieces that we have, and some of those pieces are broken, and really begin to ask the Most High, what do we do with these pieces? And how do we, how do we work with this? How do we build with this? And one of the things the main ingredient that we're going to need to help build this thing is honesty and truth. That's the glue that we're going to need, is truth. And if we're not willing to start off with truth, we're going to forever stay in confusion. So this is why we're so committed in going through, backtracking a little bit and going through some of these things that we've been told. And it's like, wait a minute, no, this ain't truthful. No, this is wrong. This is false. And being honest and really looking at that, you know what I mean? And questioning things. Some people ain't going to be able to handle it, and that's fine. We keep it moving, you know? So I want y'all to really hear that. And I want y'all to really understand that. So I'm not in, you know, there's a lot of channels or platforms out here. They just they'll run on about the problems and, you know, these people are crazy and bad and thank God they ain't me, that kind of thing. But it really hurts me when I see this kind of stuff. And it's like I said, again, I really have a deep heart for our sisters because y'all are so precious and you're really dear and you bring so much that is so much needed on the tables, you know, that out here. We desperately need you. And I, for one, am not going to bow my knee to this feminist ideology that's out here that try to get us to shut up. No, that ain't going to work here. We're going to love our sisters, but we're going to love you enough to tell you the truth. And then we'll support you any kind of way that we can. But the feminist nonsense, it can stay in hell. Okay. It can stay right there in hell. No. And we got to be honest with that as well. Okay. We're all about building up the character and building up the self-esteem and the, you know, all of that stuff of our women. And we want to see y'all win, you know, and the same thing goes for our brothers too. I was in Philadelphia and I was like one part of Philadelphia and I was like, hun, every man I come across, they seem soft. Everyone. I mean, all of them talking with a little lisp. All of them were. I was like, where are the men at? I mean, even the ones that weren't even like gay, they were just like, I couldn't. I said, I'm still speechless. I go to the restaurant, all of them sounding like light. I go on the street, they sounding like. You go near the bus stop, they sound literally everywhere. And that's becoming the thing. That has to be addressed, but you don't dress it with this. Okay, you don't dress it with this. It starts with sitting down and being willing to have a conversation. That's where, and that's the first step into addressing this whole issue of mental health, is sitting down and having conversations. A lot of these people we see on social media that's carrying on like this, they don't have anybody that they can converse with. So doors are open where they can go into all this kind of crazy stuff. But in reality, they don't have real people they can talk to. That's why you got Mark Zuckerberg and all these other people coming up with these goggles where you talking to imaginative folks or people pretending to be something else. We gave you the history. I know I'm running my mouth here, but I talked to you about what was it in that? I don't know if you caught that. The last video that we did, they were talking about, jumping to the Hebrew thing for a moment. They talked about the history of, you know how a lot of the Hebrews, they come up with new names for themselves. You know, they'll call themselves, they'll add Yah or Yahuwah or whatever, I don't know, to their names. Do you know where that actually came from? It started back in Harlem at this church. Again, you have to go back to the video. But it started there, and it was a way for them to distinct themselves between black folks, because they did not want to be identified with black folks or African Americans, or in that time they were saying Afro Americans. They didn't want to be identified with that. They wanted a complete separation. So they came up with that terminology or that way of, we're going to rename. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename myself. That's where it came from. So when you do that, when you separating yourself like that, it opens up the door to all kinds of stuff. You're not being honest. There's no honesty there. So you're creating an alternative version of yourself. It's basically an AI. That's all basically what it is. This AI thing ain't new. So anyway, I think that's it. I'll just leave it there. But like I said, if you have any questions of us, feel free to reach out and we'll be, do the best we can to get back to you. I know I got a couple of pending emails I need to get back to. I'm trying, y'all. Please, I'm trying. Just like I said, we got a lot going on, but I'm really not ignoring you at all. Some emails it takes me a lot longer to kind of process it so I can address it the way I need to, so that I can give you a full complete answer as opposed to God bless you, thank you for that email, and you done wrote your heart out. You know, I hate doing that. So it does take me time sometimes to get to some of these emails because I'm still kind of processing it, you know, and because I'm only one person, you know, and Nicole, she's only one person too. So we'll get to you. Okay. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. And I think that's it, family. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got something out of this broadcast. You guys take care. I'll probably chop some parts of this up. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, and make them to shorts or something like that so that people can remember. Because a lot of times people, if the video's too long, they ain't going to even bother watching it. But please make it a point to share this with as many people as possible, because I think the message in this one is something that's poignant, that we need to hear this. And we, you know, because this is the end game time now. And if we don't get serious now, you are the generation right now. You, the ones I'm talking to right now, if you don't set the standard right now, that's it. That's it. There's no other. It's it. We're done. So I hope you got something out of this tonight. So family, thank you again for joining us. You guys take care, and I will be talking to you again soon. Take care. We love you very much. Take care.